possible. I want to just give you a little overview of what we're going to do. There is so much work. Everyone feels how they could contribute to a charity campaign, and it almost feels like it's endless. So the purpose of this webinar is really to kind of simplify all of the different tasks and all of the different abilities of influencers to contribute towards a charity campaign. Let's try and simply simplify them into 10 basic tips where you could just focus on one at a time, and you won't be overwhelmed, just excited and focused. And let's get to it. So what's going to happen right now is I'm going to share my screen with all of you. And I have a nice little cute presentation. And I hope all of you could join along. On the top right of your screen, you have a little question tab. So click on that. If you have any questions throughout this presentation, click on the tab, write your question. Everyone will be able to see it. And I will, God willing, get to it when I am finished. So feel free at any moment throughout the presentation to click on, to ask any question you may have. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Okay, I hope all of you can see my screen. And here we go. Definition. Charity influencer, where does this word come from? So a charity influencer, a person of extraordinary or superhuman powers, an ideal superior being, conceived by Nietzsche as one who attains happiness, dominance, and creativity. Also, a person who will be the most effective at reaching out to the people who would be interested in donating to your campaign. So now let's unlock the superhuman great power of all of you influencers watching, and all of those who are going to help out in really making this campaign a phenomenal success. Okay, so let's run through the 10 basic tips, and then I'm going to try and talk a little bit about the general overview of how the Chabad on Campus Giving Day is going to work simultaneously, together with all, hopefully we have close to 45 Chabad houses which are going to be joining us, and I'll talk a little bit about those details after we finish talking about the influencer. So tip number one to being a great charity influencer. Number one, very important, go where your friends are. You don't need to be active on every social network, only where you have a strong presence, and be active on those channels. Now, there's a lot of people which may be thinking, okay, we have to get this campaign everywhere we possibly could. I'm gonna go and open up a Twitter account or open up a Tumblr account, which I have absolutely I've never been there, but we have to try and get this campaign everywhere. Let me try all vehicles and all avenues. So what's important, how do you want the most people to find out about your campaign? You wanna go where you would present if you had something nice to share with your friends. You know, it's your mother's birthday, or you're making some kind of celebration, and you wanted as many friends to know about it. So you wouldn't open up a Twitter account to let them know about it if you don't have one. You're gonna go to your Facebook where you have a strong presence, or whether it's Instagram or Tumblr, whatever it is, that's where you wanna really hit home on the platforms which you're popular there. If it's Snapchat, if it's whatever it may be, that is where you're going to be promoting the campaign. So think of what I would like tell an individual influencer, think of the one platform which you are the strongest on, and that's what you should focus in on the most. So that's tip number one, go where your friends are. Two, make it very personal. Share why you are supporting the cause. Some practical tips to really making it personal is share your own personal picture, video of the event. Two, video selfies or you talking about your personal experience are very powerful. Three, Facebook posts, organization that has changed my life. Now, I just want to just explain. So your organization, whatever Chabad house you guys are going to be helping promote, is going to be posting all different posts about Chabad. Right? They're going to be posting pictures of when the Chabad house first opened. They're going to be posting all different funny things just to draw at them, to get out the message as strong as possible. However, the most effective way to really have an impact on your friends and family, to get them to want to help out this Chabad house, which you love, is by making it personal. Don't just share a post which Chabad sent. That's good as well. But if you really want to get your friends to start thinking and want to get a part of it, take a selfie of you at Chabad and say, I love this place. This is my Chabad house. We got to help them. Or a quick selfie videos. Those are very popular. Sometimes they go viral. It's your opportunity. Get your friend to video you, talking about why Chabad is so exciting. So make it very personal. Make it real. Make it your own. That's the way your mother will say, oh man, you see this, your mother, your grandmother will see a funny video of you. It will spark their attention a lot more than you just sharing a post which your rabbi passed on to you. So try and make it as personal as possible. That's tip number 2. Very important, very vital to really hitting home on a strong campaign. Tip number 3, here we come. Okay, we've seen it over and over again. The campaigns that start strong end strong. The moment your campaign starts, you need to be pushing hard because their initial push is what will make the rest of the campaign roll forward. A charity campaign is all about the momentum. And the first hour of your campaign is by far the most crucial time for you to get the momentum moving. On December 1st at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I don't know where you're watching this. If you're in California, it's going to be at 11 a.m. If you're in, just got off the phone with the Chabad rabbi in Montana, it's going to be at 12 p.m. If you're in Chicago, it's going to be at 1 p.m. Anywhere on the East Coast, it's going to be at 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. is when the campaign gets started. That first hour of the campaign is the most vital and most telling hour. Because it really, depending on the momentum built in the first hour, is really how the campaign is going to roll forward. So if you only have 1 hour you can designate to help and to push and to promote your campaign, it should be the first hour of the campaign, because that's going to determine the future and the success of the campaign. People enjoy jumping onto moving trains. If they see, wow, Chabad already raised 20% of what they needed to do in the first hour, 30%, it's like, wow, this is exciting. I better donate before it's up. So let's try and muster all the energy behind the first hour of the campaign. That's tip number 3. Okay, tip number 4, moving along. This is a very important, I keep on saying it's important. Each tip is really very vital. And in the beginning, we had many different ideas, but we tried to really narrow them down to 10, not to confuse you. So tip number 4 is as well very, very essential. And I think this kind of works everywhere in life, but especially in a successful charity campaign, is you want to set a personal goal. You know, sometimes you want to do everything. It's great. And that's good, but if you want to succeed, you want to make your own personal goal. So say for example, the campaign is a $50,000 campaign, meaning Chabad is going to have to raise $12,500 on the day of the campaign. So it may be ambitious to want to just help them raise $12,500. That's good, but the most effective would be, it can hurt to go into this making a personal goal for yourself. For example, if it's a $50,000 campaign, commit to raising $5,000 for your friends and family. So if they're raising $50,000, so you want to commit to $5,000. If they're raising, like I said, if it was a $50,000 campaign and Chabad will be raising 12.5, so pick a realistic goal, $360, $500. And once you reach that, once you get any commitments between your friends and your family, that you've reached your goal. So you know you're not here forever. You're here, you have a specific goal in mind. You got already 2 people at $100, you got $160 left to go, and you knock it all the way to the end. Very important for any influencer. Number 5, invite your friends to Facebook events. Your organization will be setting a Facebook event page. It's important to invite all your friends to that event on the days leading up to the campaign if you don't have a page. So the event is going to go live. Your Chabadist is going to create an event 2 days before December 1st. December 1st is a Tuesday. Sunday afternoon, about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, your Chabad house will create a Facebook event. It's important to go out and to try and invite as many people to these events. Like, we've seen some beautiful things happen on Facebook in these Facebook events. People share photos, people share memories, stories. this is, you're creating this little micro community. And we want to make it as exciting and as personable as possible. So invite as many of your friends to the event. Tip number 5. Okay, tip number 6. Join the operations room. Ask your organization leader if he or she will be hosting a live event at the organization center. This is a great opportunity to create great energy around the campaign. Put the campaign up on a projector, order some pizza, and let the fun begin. Okay, so on the day of the event, when it goes live at your specific organization, you reach out to the organization leader and find out where the operations room will be taking place. And what's going to happen will be a big wide projector. Hopefully remind them, there'll be some food and drinks and excitement. Make sure to be there. Just giving encouragement, strength. Bring your computer, your laptops over, make as many phone calls, schlep some of your friends over. Let's turn this into it's kind of like a mini telethon. Everyone comes, everyone's excited, pouring in. It can be much greater. It's not only about the funds being raised, it's about the community being built. And a lot of that happens in the operations room where we get together and we help each other. Okay, tip number 7. Split a phone list, okay? So your organization will be giving you, first of all, obviously, the number one thing is you're gonna wanna reach out to your own personal friends, your family, maybe a little uncomfortable contacting and nudging your brothers, but there are some friends who who've come by to Chabad, or an uncle or an aunt that is happy about your involvement in Chabad, and this is your opportunity. It's like your opportunity to get them to support the Chabad house, which you love. So first of all, you're going to reach out to your own personal list, and then there's going to be then you're going to get a list of phone numbers to contact, and the conversation should go as follows: like, "Hi Jack, this is myself, Avremi calling. I'm calling from Chabad of UCLA. How are you? I'm reaching out to you today because we have this opportunity to quadruple every dollar raise in the next 24 hours only. Yeah." Chabad UCLA has been there for me and so many of my friends. Can you help me help them? Check out the link at charidy.com/UCLA. But remember, if we don't reach the goal, all donations will be returned. So this is what you're communicating on the phone. We got these generous matchers came forward, and they're willing to help us out too. They're willing to match any donation given for the next 24 hours, for the next 24 hours only. Really pour in your whole heart. Let them know. Ask them to get involved and to help you help them. Tip number 7. Okay, tip number 8, constantly use the word we. We can do it. We need your help. We're almost there. It's very important in fundraising to take away the I and bring in the we. It's kind of when you're talking to someone on the phone or you're talking to your friends, you're inviting them to partner in. It's not like, I need you. You're separate, and you're asking them as a separate individual to perform this transaction of passing over some money. No. Completely not. What's going on is we symbolizes involvement, gathering them. So whenever you're on the phone or you're making Facebook posts, we need to help Chabad, or we can do this. We are almost there. You're involving them, and you're allowing them to partner in. Tip number 9, remember 4 key points. Very important on the phone calls, and you want to communicate this message on your posts. Communicate this with your friends. It's only 24 hours, which is a good thing, you should know. It's only 24 hours. It's enough time to get out, to reach out to everybody. And you're not going to bug them once these 24 hours are up. It's 24 hours. And that's it. So you can feel comfortable. People appreciate that. It's only 24 hours. They understand that it's urgent. They got to get to it. They got to bring their donations in as soon as possible. And they appreciate that after 24 hours, we're going to reach your goal and we'll be there. 2, it's important to communicate that it's all or nothing, right? Because if you don't reach the goal, all the donations are returned to the donors. The matchers are only agreeing to join on the condition that Chabad can raise that money within those 24 hours. So if Chabad is doing a $60,000 campaign, That would mean they have 3 matchers in at $15,000. And they're promising that these $15,000 will only be contributed if Chabad can manage to raise $15,000 from their student body and from the masses. So you want to communicate that it's all or nothing. Very important point. Another important point is your donation is quadrupled. Let everyone understand how they're getting the largest return on their investment. They give 18 bucks, turns into 72. They give 100, it's 400. And also you want to communicate that they're going to be part of this grand Chabad on campus, raising millions of dollars for Chabad on Campus International. Now, above all, tip number 10, have fun. It's got to be, this can't be a burden, it's got to be something exciting. Come to Chabad House full of energy, excited, bring over some music for whenever you hit an important milestone. Get in there, schlep your friends, make this be something memorable, something exciting. It is, it really can be, and it's really beautiful. So just to run over everything quickly, and maybe for those of you who just got on, just let's wrap through the 10 core tips of being an effective influencer. Number 1, let me just run through. Here we go. Okay, so number 1, go where your friends are. If you're popular on Instagram, post things on Instagram. Number 2, make it personal. Selfies, videos about yourself. Remind the people how it means something to me. You're not just forwarding something you got. Start strong. If you only have 1 hour you can designate to come to the operations room, it should be the first hour. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when all the fun begins. Step 4, set a personal goal. Tip 4, set a personal goal. If you think you have the capacity of raising $500, come with that number in mind. Sit down there, leave when you hit your goal. Very important. Work towards a goal. Step 5, invite your friends to the Facebook event. Important, let's make it a huge event. Let's try and get as many people as possible there. Step 6, join the operations room. Ask your organization leader where the operations room is. Come there, come full of energy. Step 7, split the phone list, make phone calls. Very important. You know, I just want to stop for a second, talk about phone calls. It's what we call, in marketing, there's something called collateral marketing. And what does that mean? You know, well, take, for example, Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola wants you, obviously, to drink this very healthy, they wants you to drink Coke. So their marketing structure is as follows. You're driving down the highway, and you'll see a big billboard of Coke. You can't drink Coke off the billboard, but you know it flashes in your mind. Then you turn on the radio and there's an advertisement for Coke. You come home, you turn on the television, and there's an ad, and you see a commercial for Coca-Cola. Finally, you walk into the convenience store and there's a refrigerator with cold Coca-Cola waiting for you. That's kind of when Coke comes in for the kill. So all of your Facebook posts and the emails which your organization is going to be sending out and your Instagram stuff, that's kind of like the billboard and the commercials. They're finding out about it. Your friends are hearing about it. When you make the phone call, that's kind of like when you walk into the convenience store and there's a cold can of Coke waiting for you over there. That's like where you're coming in for the kill. So phone calls are important. Let's not underestimate the ability and what we see. You know, I've been to many operations rooms, some very large campaigns, and you can kind of see, depending on how many people are in the operations room making phone calls. If there's 50 people there making phone calls, all of a sudden the numbers the campaign starts moving very quickly. So there's so much hype and there's so much marketing all around. But when I could almost judge without even looking at the screen how the campaign is doing based on how many people are sitting in the operations room making phone calls. So just let's not underestimate the strength of a phone call. Tip number 8, use the word we, very important. Tip number 9, remember 24 hours, all or nothing, quadruple your donations, and millions for Chabad on campus. Tip number 10, I can't stress how important this tip is to make sure you're having a blast. Okay, now I'm just gonna pull back. I wanna run through the workbook, which is very important that you print this stuff out. You guys should be able to see. I'm sharing with you right now. It's on page number 8 in the Charidy workbook. Very important to print out. Number 1, this is mainly for the organization leaders. So you have
9 and 10.
Yeah, page 9 and 10. Operations room, influencers task sheet. First of all, thank you for volunteering your time to making a real difference for your community. Below you will find some tips on how to be a successful charity influencer. So print out page 9 for anyone who walks into the operations room. They should be able to see some of these tips we spoke about are in page 9. Make a copy of them. Make a copy of page 9. Make a copy of page 10. How the page 10 is a phone script. What they're going to be talking about on the phone. Very important. Let the people, let any influencer coming in who hasn't been watching this fantastic presentation, let them, you want to try and communicate this message of how to be an effective influencer, what they should say on the phone. A lot of times, just to talk about a few points, a lot of times people come in, after 2 or 3 phone calls, they're not going to be using the script anymore. But just to get them off the road, it's important. I just yesterday I was in an operations room and it was like kind of running slow. When I came there and I sat down, just kind of show them yourself how phone calls should look like. And after the second phone call, they're not really going to be using the script anymore. It's obviously going to, and obviously the script is not ideal. You want it to be as personal as possible, and as you want everyone to express themselves in a phone call. But just for the first 2 phone calls, just to get them rolling, you want to have this script. So that's very important. Another few important things just for the operations room. Try and bring phone chargers. I always find that in the operations room, people come and their phones, after an hour of making phone calls, their phones start dying. So it's good to have phone chargers there. Make sure it's so important to have a projector. So important. Just includes everybody. Anyways, I'm pulling back to the screen. How are you guys? I don't see any questions. So I will, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask now. That's the reminder. Just a reminder, the question on the top right of your screen, you have a tab where you can ask questions, and I will be more than glad to field your questions. Anyway, it's been real. It's been a great evening. This webinar will be recorded, so you can just take this link and you can share it to anyone who will be in the operations room, anyone who's going to be helping out and promoting the campaign. Share this link. They'll be able to see this presentation. Let's make this as great as we can. It's exciting. It's going to be big, and looking forward. Obviously, feel free to reach out to me with any questions. remyw@charidy.com. And I will be more than glad to assist you. Sei gesund and have a great evening.